Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have got a little flight to show you today that I took in an interesting spot on the Boise River. This is a place I've never flown from before. It's interesting, and there's some historical things going on here, and geographically it's just outside of the Class C airspace for the Boise airport, so we had to fly in a fairly confined space to stay out of the airport's Class C airspace, but what I have is the original Mavic Mini. It's what I was flying that day, and this was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment flight. But I think you'll find this interesting. Let me show you a couple of the historical signs that are up in this spot that'll kind of explain to you what's going on. So you'll see the ridge on the other side of the bridge as I fly the drone underneath the Highway 21 bridge. And on that spot is where the Oregon Trail, they cut a little trail down into the Boise Valley. And I'm sure that was, like it says on this sign, that it was welcome for those people to get down where they had access to water and something green, and instead of just dry sagebrush, etc. But 1836 is when the first group of people came through, and they said by 1840 it was well traveled. So, you know, clearly in the early 1800s there were a lot of people wanting to move west to seek their fortunes. And then they're also saying that once the railroad came along in 1884, you know, they just didn't use that trail much anymore, but you'll see that. So the other thing you'll see about this spot here is where there was a ferry crossing. Beaver Dix Ferry was the name of it, and evidently that was a spot for people to get across, and they could make their way then up to Idaho City, where there was a big gold rush going on at the time. This Highway 21 bridge that we're going to go under here actually goes up to Idaho City. And it was, at one point, my understanding is it was the biggest city in Idaho. And now it's, you know, it's just a little, I guess you'd almost call it a tourist town at this point. You know, a few hundred people, not a lot of folks live up there. But anyway, this is all just interesting, and I thought you might like to just kind of take a look at this short little flight. This is going to be a short one. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I got the Fly app opened up. Let's take a look at the safety menu real quick. Looks like we're good to go so far. IMU is normal, compass is normal. We can take a quick look at the battery. We're good to go there. So yeah, we're clear to take off. Let me start recording. We're in 2.7K, 30 frames per second. Recording is started. No reason not to take off. So let's hit takeoff on the app.
Takeoff. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
And we know we're in a 150 meter zone. Let's turn this drone around and look up here. Sorry, get us spaced at us. Drop that camera down a little bit. Okie dokie. So here we are, and you can you can see I'm just kind of in an open area here. The drone is appears to be operating normally. We're going to do just kind of a short droney because I don't want to go over Warm Springs Avenue behind us. So I'm going to point that camera down because we're going to be going up and out, but pretty steep up. So up and reverse. And that's as high as we're going to go because there is as far as we're going to go because there is a road behind us there. And you can see right here that is Highway 21, and that's the bridge that goes over the Boise River. So let's go out and take you over the river here. And where we're at right now, that is that path you see is part of the Boise Greenbelt, and you can see a bicyclist there, so we'll let them go by. Then we'll go over the top. And we'll see if we can get out over the river here. Let's grab a little altitude. You can see there's some walking paths and stuff down there that people can get river access. But this is not part of the. There's a wildlife preserve, and this part is not part of that. But this is the river, so we're going to be kind of flying in a limited area here. And actually, I don't even think it's illegal for us to fly over that wildlife preserve, but we're not going to do it. That's it there, right out there. And it's just something that was put together locally. So really, I don't think there's any problem, even if we wanted to, but we're not going to. There's all kinds of, you see elk herds down here and everything, and this is obviously right near the city, so we can go down the river just a little ways here. And you can kind of see it here. And this part of the Boise River is right, when you guys see me fly up at Lucky Peak Dam, this is the downstream side of that dam. So this is as far as we're going to go that way. I'm going to stay on the safe side of things. And this direction right here, if we went, I don't know, not very far, we would be into Class C airspace. So we're going to stay away from that. And you can see here the bridge, and it's pretty busy. This is Memorial Day weekend, so it's pretty busy. Let's go upriver here a little ways. And we should be able to go underneath the bridge. That way we don't have to worry about whether we cross any cars or not. So let's drop some altitude. And I'm facing right towards the drone here. Let's look up to make sure we are perfectly clear, and yes, we are. And let's go right under the bridge. And this is the Boise River, so we're going to limit how far down this thing we go too, because there's a dam down there. That is the diversion dam, and that canal that you can see the diversion dam down there. We'll go down here a little ways, but we're not going to go too far. Because that is, they do actually generate some power out of that little dam right there. But what it's primarily for is, you see that canal right next to the river? That supplies irrigation to the Treasure Valley. So a lot of irrigators, that's where they get their water. I think that's the reason for that dam. So let's kind of go back over by the mountainside here. And you can see the green belt there, and you can go on that green belt and go all the way to the dam, to the Lucky Peak Dam. And that road right there is the turnoff to Warm Springs Avenue, and that's where I'm at, is parked right underneath there. So just in that parking lot that you see off to the side there. So let's look around a little bit. Like I said, we want to stay away. We're kind of in a confined area here because we definitely want to stay away from the dam, and we want to stay away from that wildlife preserve, and we don't want to fly over any people or cars either. So we'll be kind of ginger at the way we do this. And I'm getting a little bit of a weak signal, so I'm going to raise some altitude. This is just a Wi-Fi drone, so what we might have to do here is cross over the top. So we'll look for a good opportunity. You can see there's plenty of traffic. So we'll pause here for a second. and see what we got coming. I think we're good that way. Here we go. That worked. And boy, I can hear the drone. Came screaming right over the top. And let me kind of yaw around in a circle here, and you can kind of see some of the development. There's a lot of development on, this is a popular place on Warm Springs Avenue here, and you can see why people would want to live here. Close to a lot of recreation. And let's just circle on around. And that parking lot down there that you see coming in on the right hand side is where I'm at. And we're getting a little bit of a wind warning, so we'll heed that. Well, you can see lots of holiday traffic, and there again you can see the bridge off in the distance. We're about 60 meters high, so we're about 180 feet in the air. And there I see another car coming into the parking lot here. Let's kind of go back over the top of the river. I'm going to move sideways. We are just moving sideways, not forward motion. And kind of get a look at the ridge here, and you can see that's where the Oregon Trail came down. And they crossed the river right here. That stuff is always fascinating to me. Somebody always had to build a ferry or something to get wagons and goods across the river. Okay, let's point that camera down and kind of get you a look at some of this. So there is the river. And you can see the sun is pretty high in the sky here. Yawing just a little bit fast there, but just trying to bring it around so you guys can kind of get a good look at all this. Slowly raise that camera up as we come around. And back this direction. Well, this has been a fairly short flight, but I'll put some information up that shows you a little bit of the history here. There's a couple of plaques that are posted there, so I'll show you that. And that's me. I'm kind of off, the one parked off kind of away from the rest of the cars there. So let's bring her down and bring her to us. That's a cute little drone flying through the air, I'll tell you that. I am full stick down right now. And let's bring it around the other side. I'll tell you, these DJI drones are just amazing. The control is just so nice with them. You know, I fly a lot of other, well, some of the stuff that's kind of close to toy grade drones, and they're so difficult compared to a drone like this. There can be lag in the controls, and it's just a pleasure when you fly a DJI drone. So let's see if we can get on our little landing piece of cardboard here. Looks like I need to back up just a little. Yeah, I'm gonna go stick down right now. Pick that camera up, full stick down.
Landing.
And I'm kind of half on, half off, but we're good. Okay, I'll stop recording. All right, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed that little flight, and I recorded the audio that you heard on the flight was recorded with my iPhone. So fortunately I had backup audio. I capture audio with my GoPro and a wireless mic, but in this case I was capturing it with the screen recording on my iPhone. Now what happens with the iPhone is occasionally you'll get a little wind noise, so I apologize for that. But in any case, it all worked out, and I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, yeah, please subscribe to my channel. But most of all, I appreciate you taking the time today to look at this video. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.